January 12th, 2023 market report. The way we do this is we're going to take 3 articles that are representative of the real estate market as a whole nationally. Or I'm sorry, we're going to take 1 national, 1 local, and 1 that's a little bit more interest rates, et cetera, that kind of thing. So we're going to start with local. We pulled this article from Cranes, and the headline is...
They got good stuff.
Sometimes. Luxury home sales in Chicago plunge. So I will give you the meat and potatoes of what the article is saying.
Okay.
So it's comparing Q4 2022 against Q4 of 2021. And according to this article, luxury sales, meaning over $1 million in Chicago, that is theoretically over 1,066,000. So the top 5% of sales constitute luxury. We were down 35.3%. According to this article, that is a huge drop. What do you take away from it?
So my thing is, when you have numbers involved, you could make any story that you want. Any story you want, it could make it sound like a great story. But you have to look at those numbers on like a more of a finite scale. So 2021 interest rates at that time were probably, I'm gonna guess 3.5.
We're gonna assume high net worth, under 3.
Under 3. So with interest rates being that low and inventory also being low at that time, there were a lot of multiple offers. So you were getting an overvaluation of property. So something that was probably $990,000,
interesting take.
probably won $100K more. So you have properties that probably weren't really luxury. Yeah, going as luxury properties.
I like that take.
So I feel like around 2020, 2021, since, people had, I guess, like more expendable income, more money apparently to buy more, sales were higher. The buyers were out for sure. Fast forward to 2022 November, interest rates were
double.
Yeah, double.
Or more.
So you probably didn't have a lot of people out. We felt it, you felt it, there's not a lot of people out. And you're not gonna get those multiple offers on those luxury properties. And I feel like people who are buying $1 million properties are probably more money conscious and are looking at different things. So now they say, okay, maybe don't put my money and borrow money for free that I did last year, but at 7%, I might wanna put it somewhere else. And I think that can be a reason.
Yeah, totally agree. I'm gonna take a shot at the author, Dennis Rodkin, it's a fear tactic. They need clicks, plunge. What they're trying to say is the luxury real estate market is quote unquote in shambles. He put out an article this week saying, can you believe it? Luxury home sales are up. So like you're talking, out of both ends of your mouth. I take exception to that. So ultimately, when you're reading any type of article, but especially in real estate, you have to understand the author and what they're trying to do. And unfortunately, everyone's trying to get clicks.
Clicks. I had this conversation this morning with someone else. Everything is just clicks.
Yep.
Everything is clicks. Like news is just headlines and clicks. Headlines and clicks.
So the second article that we're going to cover is from Fox Business. It is titled, "The U.S. is suffering from the second biggest home price correction of the post-World War II era." Ultimately, what this is saying is that in the latter part of 2022, leading up into the first month of 2023, prices are down across the country 38%. Okay, that's national news. How should, I'm assuming the tens of listeners that we have are in Chicago. What do we do with this information?
Real estate's local. I think it's good to have that kind of national average. You get a sense of the general feel. I like to think of it, this is gonna be stupid, but I think of it like the average player in the NBA plays for 7 years. Doesn't mean you're gonna play for 7 years if you take care of your body, if you don't X, Y, and Z. So like, is the market in your particular neighborhood that what you're looking for your product, is that up, is that down? Like you get a sense of the feel where what the average person is thinking, but you have to get a little bit deeper into the weeds to figure out exactly what's happening for you. So that two bath market, downtown, River North, what's that market? It's that single family market in Urban Park on a 50-foot lot. Like what is that? Like they're all so very different.
So I would also make the argument that, to your point on the last article, in the latter part of 2021, first part of 2022, prices and transactions, they went up so high that drop, even though it's a huge drop, we've never seen such a huge gain. So let's take Chicago locally. I agree, transactions are down. No doubt about it. Prices are down. However, when you take year over year numbers, our prices, the average sales price is still up. So again, it's like another one of those articles that it's misleading. So a correction, like when we're talking about a correction, we're talking about rates. So yeah, it's coming down dramatically, but prices are still up. It's complicated.
What I find funny is just even how that article, that title reads.
Fear-mongering.
Post-World War. Like, World War has nothing to do with what the prices are right now.
Someone's
all
editor.
clickbaits.
Someone's editor is like, do you think we can squeeze the word war in here somehow?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Like,
it's like those baseball stats. It's like, Zach LaVine is the first player to score 4 points in a third quarter while having 4 rebounds and no turnovers.
It's something.
Thank you. We all needed that stat. I appreciate it.
It's funny. It's the same thing in sports. It's like the talking heads gets, this guy, he turned the ball over 19 times in this quarter. It's like, okay, we're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Let's just move forward.
No doubt.
Agreed.
Our last article is kind of from our most boring source, Bloomberg, titled U.S. 30-year fixed mortgage rate climbs to 6-week high. So I like to identify the article first. This article is actually from January 4th, so we're like 9 days late. Let me take a little crack at this one first.
Okay.
So I take cracks at all articles because I don't think they are here to serve the public. They're here to serve advertisers, but that's like another problem altogether. But why do we think that the author, Vince Gull, here chose 6 weeks? Because it painted whatever story, to your point previously. They're trying to tell a story. They want to fearmonger again for a third time in these articles. And I don't know if, ultimately, I'm sure this guy's a good guy, but someone is trying to put a damper on the real estate market as a whole. Hey, interest rates are high. What are they trying to say? Don't get out there and buy because it's too expensive. And the economy will slow down. Inflation will go down. I don't know. The conspiracy theorist in me says there's like bigger motives at play, but that's what's going on.
I mean, my thing is like when interest rates were 2s and 3s, it was a bad time to buy. When interest rates are 7, it's a bad time to buy. So when is it a good time to buy? I feel like it's a lot of fear. I think general news, real estate news. I tried watching like the evening news the other day and I was like, oh my God, did anybody save a cat from a tree today at least? Like everything is like incredibly bad. But I think you're right with the clickbait and the advertisers, and it's a lot more that goes in the news. And I think people haven't realized that yet. They just go, oh, did you see this thing? Like, did you read the whole thing? Do you understand where that's coming from?
No,
like,
people are headline readers.
Yeah, headline readers.
You're guilty. I'm guilty sometimes too.
Yeah.
So market snapshot, all we really care about locally in Chicago, we know a few things and we have our finger on the pulse. We do the second most buy-side transactions in the city. Did you know that, JP?
No, I did not.
Yeah,
wow.
No one else. Well, there's one other guy, we won't talk about it, but we're second most. And our call volume is up from our advertising mediums. We're getting more calls. We know from our sponsor, Cross Country, their pre-approval numbers are up. And from our transaction management team, we know that our contracts are up. So I am dead serious about this, a leading indicator of what's going to occur in the market. I believe that deep down in my soul. I am telling everyone, if there is even a marginal drop in mortgage rates, buyers are going to come out. We're going to have multiple offers. You have a really small window. Again, today's January 12th. You have until end of January where it's not going to be competitive. And sellers who have finally come to the realization that their homes are sitting on the market too long and nothing is going to change, you have a small window to take advantage of that fact.
No, I totally agree.
That is what's happening in the market. All articles be damned.